What's up, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. What's cracking? What's cracking, people? Yes, man. Hey, I got my people in the house, man. We're doing well. We're doing well. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. What's going on? Tim Black's Woodpackers in the house. We're live today on YouTube as well as Rumble. So give it up for Rumble, man. What's up, Rumble? How y'all doing? If you know a brother, I don't know if you know about the show. Maybe you do. I don't know. You know, I've had a channel on Rumble for a while. I just, haven't posted on it in a long time. And then someone said Rumble is a good spot to be at. And it said, Tim, yeah, man, come over to Rumble and throw your name in the hat, son, because there's people on Rumble. And you say, well, whether there's people, there's somebody that might be interested in checking out the content, so go ahead and put it out there. So I'm putting the Rumble content out, live stream version of that. Go ahead and roll that out there and see what happens, man. Can't get any worse. What's happening on a Friday night, people? Yeah. What's going on, man? I got my man, Buck Bewley, man. I heard Buck Bewley's not even in town, man. That brother went on vacation, took the Tim Black Wolfpack with him. Go ahead, Buck, man. My brother is dedicated. So, Buck, thank you for doing the moderating. He moderates the YouTube channel, guys. Rumble, fend for yourselves. Do as you do. So what? This is what controlling the crowd control. What crowd control, Tim? There's no one watching. But hey, there could be. So what's happening, man? It is Friday here on the Tim Black Show. If you're new to the channel, let me tell you what to expect. Hurt feelings. That's right. Hurt feelings, John. So people get mad. They don't like it when a brother tells them, put it this way. People love when they agree with me. When they agree with me, I'm the greatest guy, man. Oh, Tim Black. You. Oh, Tim. This guy's amazing. Oh, I think we should name our child after him, don't you? But if it's a girl, we name her Timothea? Yeah, man, when they agree with Tim Black, man, it's something. Yeah, it's all types of love, man. I get love letters. People, they say nice things, Stop me in the street occasionally. Tim Black, my brother. My man, what's up, brother? But when I say shit they don't like, yeah, but they disagree with me. That love stuff's out the window, baby. Yeah, they don't care. When I say stuff they don't like, it's like, Their number one claim is this. Who paying you? Who paying you? I knew it. We can't just have a difference of opinion. Hell no, we can't have no difference of opinion, man. You ain't no free-thinking individual. You think this is. Thinking for yourself. You need to think like me, because I think like every normal person. Yeah. So yeah, when I say something that they don't like, then it's a problem, And I'm never like, burn down all the people's houses. I'm never like, whatever they disagree with me about, it's not like I'm like rooting for their homes to be burned down or their children to be, thrown from windows. It's just like we different on some like political, sometimes it's just strategy. Like they're like, we need to do this. I'm like, well, we could do that, but when we do this, hell nah. And they just jump out the window. I think a lot of people need therapy. You know what I'm saying? And they think therapy is having a drink and talking to like-minded friends. And I guess that could be, you know. When I was coming up, they said therapy. I think it was a comedian who made it up. Maybe it was Richard Pryor. He said, you see a brother on the street corner talking to himself? That's his therapy, man. He's just trying to work it out. Don't interrupt that brother. Let him do his thing. That's his therapy session. You ever seen somebody arguing with themselves? You get him 10 feet. That's what you do. Get him 10 feet. And that's when you start noticing other things. Look at this over here. Look, babe, did you see that? Did you see the crease on the sky? That's nice. Oh, wow, look, there's a lamp over there. I didn't know there was a lamp. There's a lamp. Street lamp. Yes, nice street lamp over here, babe. Over here. Don't look at the man in the eye. No eye contact. Yeah, man. Here on the Tim Black Show, where we cover U.S. politics. Yeah, U.S. politics, man. You on a political channel, bro. I know, ain't that crazy? We cover politics, man. I had fun. This election cycle was fun because I was right. I said Trump gonna beat her like she stole something. And he beat her like she stole something. I even wrote an ebook about it. Months before the race. Yeah, no, all those people. All these people, they call themselves like progressives and stuff. These people give them all this money to like be like their guiding light in politics. And they shunned me years ago, right? When I realized that ain't no reason for black people to be a part of it if we ain't really a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like black people just don't get their due in the progressive movement, and we get disrespected too often. And then they think respecting us is having TYT do segments of black men being killed by cops. And I said that's not enough. We need money. Talking about the money, y'all. Talking about the moolah, y'all now. But yeah, they shunned me years ago, and it wasn't mutual shunning. I gotta agree. I did several videos calling them racist and assholes and jackasses and sellouts and stuff. So they can't stand me. But here's the thing, though. I was right. I said Trump was going to win. Go to 8 reasons. Go to 8 reasons. Kamala. Damn, 8reasons.com? Yeah, 8reasons.com. That's it. 8reasons.com. And it's 8 reasons why Kamala Harris will lose the election. That's my website. That's a free ebook. Everybody can get it. So it's still there. You can still pick it up for free. Yeah, that's how sure I was. I wrote an ebook about it, put it out, and gave it away. I didn't sell it. It wasn't to make money. Proving me right is payment enough. You know? Anyway, Johnson, so here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today. Ladies and gentlemen. I want to say what's up to the people that support the independent show called The Tim Black Show, supporting what we do by going to patreon.com, Tim Sig Live, becoming a member of the show, rocking with us. We do this Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm off Tuesdays and Saturdays. Oh, by popular demand, the Legacy Cup, the Tim Black Legacy Tim Black Show mug is now available. Go to timblackmug.com. That's timblackmug.com. Get your mug. That's right. Politics for the People mug. It's the official. This will be the legacy. This is the flagship. This is the mug that started it all, folks. The Tim Black Show mug is dishwasher safe. It is microwave safe. It is a little over 11 ounces. It's pristine. It's mean. It's clean. And it is nice and compact, and it's perfect. Support this show. Get something for it. Go to timblackmug.com. Pick up one today. $20, guys. $20. I handle the shipping. How about that? I handle the shipping. I send it to you. I only ordered, now it's a limited run. I only ordered 100 of them. I got 3 boxes making up 100 mugs. I got 100 boxes to put the mugs in. I got the bubble wrap. I built the website. I did everything. This is a labor of love. And I want to thank everybody for supporting it. Shout out to my man Buck Bewley for the inspiration behind the idea. Stop, relying on third parties to fulfillment. Do your own fulfillment. So we'll be fulfilling that right here. And every order will be packed with love from me and Mrs. Black. How about that? Yeah. Give it up for that, y'all. It's great, man. I'm happy about that, man. Yeah, man. I've only ever had like digital products that I've had on the internet. I've never had something that's you ordered and that I packed it up. Like we sent out buttons before, but this is different. This is different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Here we go. Once again, the Tim Black Mug. Go to timblackmug.com, guys. To try to increase the viewer experience, to make it a better experience, on YouTube, we have lowered the amount of ads that you get. I can't control what ads you get. I can't control their duration, but I can control their frequency somewhat. So if you're watching the show on YouTube, you will get less ads. It's called conservative. There's only 3 ways. There's only 3 settings for the ads, the advertisers' ads on live shows. I chose the least amount of ads you could possibly get. Anybody's show that has ads on their show that they're running, that are running with their consent. How can I say this? That they get a cut of, I have the lowest possible setting, which means I make the lowest amount of money doing a live show that anybody makes money doing live shows. And I did that because it's more important. After really thinking about it, it's gonna do what it do. Ain't nobody gonna get rich talking about real shit. It just don't happen. So, freaky deaky. You know what I'm saying? I don't know another way to put it. My Richard Pryor fans know what I'm talking about. Freaky deaky. Richard Pryor doing Al Spinks. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Ain't nobody gonna get rich talking about real stuff. It just don't happen. So why not have people be smiling more during the show? Anyway, so that's it, man. That's it. You guys, hope everybody had a good week. It's been a crazy week around here, and I've been trying to keep up with everything. I'm very glad, knock on wood, to be feeling better. Mrs. Black, more importantly, Mrs. Black is feeling much better. We both got over the flu. Give it up for my baby, my lady. She got over the flu. So did the children, which is the main part of the story because they're the ones that gave us the flu. You know what I'm saying? So, which they probably got from school. And it just kind of circulates the house. It just bing, bing. It just bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. You know? Anybody a fan of the movie The Heat? Bing, 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 bing. Remember that? Remember that scene? Okay, I got coming out of the tunnel there doing this and he put bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Anyway, guys, so check this out. So thank you for the well wishes about the Mrs. Black. Yeah, my baby girl, I'm glad she's feeling better. And thank you for wishing her a speedy recovery because it worked. You did it again. The prayer warriors came out. Woo! Prayer warriors came out. It's like, Lord, please, man, Mrs. Black, get better. Amen. You ain't gonna say nothing about Tim Black? Oh, yeah, and make sure Milk Dud be okay, too. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all ready, man? Let's do this. Let's get into some content. I would love to shoot it with you indiscriminately for the next whatever, but I guess we should do some news. You ready for some news work? Okay, first contestant is... Somebody runs up, we do a thing, game show, music, please. We got content. All right, let's do this, Tim Black, you crazy person, you with your crazy crew. Okay, so people are pissed. I can start every show like this. Americans are losing their minds because Donald Trump has been named Person of the Year. They don't know how to take it.
So let's get a listen to the president-elect.
Tremendous honor. I brought some of our compatriots along with us. They're going to do a beautiful job for you for the next 4 years. And it's really been something very special. And I have to say, Time Magazine getting this honor for the second time. I think I like it better this time, actually, but we did a good job. We had a great first term, despite a lot of turmoil caused unnecessarily. But the media's tamed down a little bit. They're liking us much better now, I think. If they don't, we'll have to just take them on again, and we don't want to do that. But I do want to thank...
No matter what it is. Hey, Trump, you won, son. Hey, you won. Chill. Be gracious, my brother. Trump's like, yo, man, we had problems with the media before, you know what I'm saying? And they acting like they got their head right this time, but hey, we got to take it there. We got to take it there, you know what I'm saying? We got to take it there. I hate for that to happen. Trump, man, can you just take the W? Take the W, man, and take the high road, man. It's on. You got it. You shut him down. Wouldn't it be happy? Now fix this country. Yeah, get up there and fix it. None of this. Timmy's not actually in office yet. I know, but we'll get to carry on, President.
Time Magazine. I've been on the cover many times. I don't know who has the record, but I can only probably talk well about 25% of the covers. 25% are great. The others I just sort of hide. But it's been an honor, and every time it's an honor, I will tell you. And thank you very much for doing it. And thank the whole group at Time. With me, we're going to bring them all back. They're all coming back. So thank you very much. This is a great honor, and ringing the bell will be fantastic. And go out and get them. We're with you all the way. Thank you very much. Thank you.
World, he's going to ring the bell here in about 20 seconds. An historic moment at the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, so he's going to ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange, man. And as he rings this bell, I imagine the faces of the Democrats melting from their bodies. The face is off. Face off. Face off.
As we get this opening bell rung by the president-elect, Donald Trump.
Yeah, man, they could not stand this, man. These people are really ticked off, man. He did a photo shoot, man, and I guess when they were preparing the cover. So this is like behind the scenes footage of the photo shoot, And I added a little bit of music, compliments of epidemic sounds. Oh, okay, my bad. My bad. You ain't supposed to have fun on the show, Tim Black. Don't have too much fun on them. Yeah, man. So here's the thing, man. This is a thing. Yeah, Trump beat the brakes off Kamala Harris. No one should be shocked by that. It was coming down to two people. And so how shocked could you be? It's either he was gonna win or she was gonna win. And if you got any sense, you knew she wasn't gonna win. Oh, you thought the big rallies with the you thought the Beyonce or the okay. Meg the Stallion, yeah. Oh yeah, the Eminem vote. Yeah, it's John Legend came out. Jermaine Dupri and Michael Ealy talked to black men. Yeah, it's like that moved the needle right to nowhere. Moved the needle like 1 decimal point. It might have actually worked against her. Yeah, man, I'm trying to tell you, man. See, there's authenticity and there's authenticity. And then there's disauthenticity or inauthenticity. Yeah, she had that working for her, inauthenticity. Nobody believed who she was. No one believed. I'd like to give a shout out to the sister that stuck to her guns and did not budge and was not controlled by mainstream media, one and only Janet Jackson. Give it up for Janet Jackson, y'all.
So
Let's get a listen to the president-elect.
Janet Jackson. Yeah. Talk about control, man. Janet Jackson is the winner. You know what I'm saying? She would not bow to the Kamala Harris train, and she ends up with no dirt on her face. Yeah. So, yeah, they're very upset about it. In fact, they're fuming about this, time of the year thing, as if the time of the year is such a coveted thing. Look, guys, so I took the liberty of putting together a list because when you have a platform, you can educate people or you can do nothing. I choose to educate you with some stuff and try to entertain at the same time. So the top 10 most controversial people time of the years. Adolf Hitler, back in 1938. Joseph Stalin, 1939 and 1942. The Ayatollah Khomeini. That was back in 1979. Vladimir Putin was 2007. Donald Trump, 2016. Nikita Khrushchev, 57. The computer in 1982. Yeah, that's how far we've come. 1982, they had a computer like, this thing gonna change the world. They were right. In 2011, it was the protester. The collective choice representing the Arab Spring in Occupy Wall Street. The protester. 2006, it was something called You, which meant us. And that's the internet age. That's representing all of us online. You. In the 2010 most controversial top time people of the year, Mark Zuckerberg. Many people complained, I guess, a lot about these figures. So, as upset as some of the liberals are about Trump being the time people of the year, look, all I can say as a black man from DC, man, all I can tell you this is I don't give a damn. Yeah, like it don't matter to me who's on the cover of the Time magazine. I don't even get the Time magazine. You know what I'm saying? I don't even read that joint. Nope, don't. I can't remember or recall a time that I ever did read the Time. The only time I know about is Morse Day. Woo-hoo! That's the only time I know about. So this right here, it seems like what I call White people problems. Yeah, things white people with a lot of money worry about. Yeah, they argue back and forth. They get upset about it. Poor white people don't give a shit either. I mean, they're probably happy that Trump's on the cover, but if he wasn't on the cover, they'd be like, I don't care about that daggone cover. I ain't got time to worry about that shit. Man, somebody come over here and fix my damn... I need my car. My car ain't running. Give me some time with that. Give me some time to give me some new steel-belted radios on this car, this Plymouth I got sitting back here. Remember the time I loaned your ass $20? I remember the time. Remember that time? Remember that time? You told me you ain't gonna get locked up no more and been stiff me on the bill? Remember the time you said you was gonna pay the child support? Remember the time you said you ain't gotta take me to court? You was gonna help me with these kids? Remember the time? Yeah, man, so this whole thing, when I see people jumping at the gym about this, I just think, out of touch. Out of touch. Bubble. Yeah, because working class people don't have time for this at all. They don't have time to worry about the time. Only time we worried about is, hey, you think they're gonna deliver them checks on time? Checks come on time, right? It's time for them checks. But some of the Democrats are upset about it. What can I say, man? Number one butthurt about Trump being named the Time Person of the Year, of course, would be this guy. Mr. Independent Media himself, Don Lemonhead.
Well, take a look at this. Donald Trump is Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Now, if they wanted to make someone Person of the Year, they would have made someone who, and my God, I'm sure he loves this, right? If they wanted to make someone Person of the Year, I don't know, they could have done it with any person. People who they
did choose any person. But let me clear it up for you, though, Donald. Donald Lemon. They did choose someone, but they could have chose anyone. Choosing anyone is not appropriate because it's a person that did some notable shit. So just anyone's not notable. Now, the guy with all the charges, I thought it was like 96 charges, 40,000 convictions, grabbed the woman by the change purse. That guy, he came back and won the presidency. Came back and beat your girl Kamala like a rug. Yeah. So that's probably why they chose her. But I do appreciate how gracious you are, man, to say, they can choose whoever they want, because it is a private paper. Private organization, choose whoever they want. I'm sure there's a Don Lemonhead fan club that chooses you every year. I would think that was stupid as hell. But hey, I'm not a part of the Don Lemonhead fan club.
They could have done it to someone who actually stood for democracy, who stands for democracy in the country.
I hate this statement. This is one of the reasons why the Democrats got their asses kicked. This whole stand for democracy. They need to stand for democracy. We got to stand for democracy. What the hell does that even mean, man? Who even defines that? That's stupid shit. That's like saying we gotta, we need someone who's gonna represent our values. Other shit that Democrats like to say. That no one really defines what it is. We just know it's a phrase the loopies use. It's a phrase the goofies use to try to vilify other people. It's like the little code name, It's like the three, remember the Little Rascals had the Woman Haters Club? The Girl Haters Club, what was that? The Girl Haters Organization something? I don't know. It's just like what the Democrats have is they have this thing where they make up jargon. They make up words and use slang, inside language no one else knows, and then they keep saying it over and over like it's supposed to be important. When it's just some shit they made up. There is no standard of what a person is who respects democracy. There's no standard for who is whatever these terms are. There's no litmus test. There's no, where's the study guide? Like, so what are you even talking about? And once again, if you are overly concerned with this shit, that sounds like white people problems, because real people problems, working class, when I say white people problems, it's about white people with money. If you are broke or if you don't have a lot of money, I'm not talking about you. Stop being offended about every goddamn thing, because there's a difference. We all know there's a difference between working class people, rich white people, and poor white people, don't we? We know there's a difference between people who got a trust account. If you could take off the next 2 months with nobody knowing nothing, like no leave, you ain't gotta take no leave, nothing to get repossessed. If you can stop right now, not work another day and be good for 2 months, then you're a different person. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm talking about the people that gotta go to work, no matter how they feeling tomorrow. Or Monday morning, come Monday morning, their ass gonna be at work. Them people, the people that gotta look in the change drawer sometime. Hey, once in a while, get in there. This is stick together as coins. You see, and you're like, I know I got a little change in there. You know, them people, and people who came from that. People who used to go, to the thrift store to shop occasionally. And not because it was a great place to find a great sale, some vintage. No, because that's all the money. You looked in your pocket and say, well, looks like somebody's going to be shopping at the dime store. People who bought them shoes, and you bought your tennis shoes at the grocery store sometimes. You ever be walking with your mother in the grocery store when you was like, I remember being like 6 years old, 7 years old, and Nikes is just getting really popular. Nikes is blowing up. And I remember, Mama, I need some new shoes. She's like, oh, look at these. And she reached into a basket with these things in them. Them things did not look like Nikes. Right? They was all the same color. It was like an off blue. And they was all plastic and canvas. They had no arch support at all. Arch said, fuck it. No arch support. And there was a little piece of metal holding them together. Look like somebody took some pliers and just snapped them together like a fish nook, a fish head, a fish nose, pliers, and they did that. And she said, oh, here you go your shoes. And she just hand me these shoes. I don't even got none of these shoes look like, here you go. Just hand these shoes, here you go. And just put them in the cart. She said, what you think about those? Oh shit, don't wear nothing in shit. Shoot, I wish I would. You know me, if my mother would have smacked the taste out of my mouth if I would have said that. You don't want what I got you, boy. You don't want what I'm giving you. Don't wear nothing to be happy. Oh, it's gonna be cold at the bus stop with no shoes on at all. Your shoes talking to you, ain't they? You tired of hearing them talk to you? Them shoes gonna be talking all winter. So when I say this, I mean this with the utmost respect to the people that know what it's like to have hurting pockets. Hurting pockets, you can put $1 in your pocket and it scream because it's alone. If you worried about the Time magazine cover, Don Lemon, you're not from the group of people, nor do you understand the group of people that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Now you think about what encompasses person of the year. Just because you are elected president of the United States does not mean that you should be person of the year. What Time magazine, what are you doing? Let me ask you, Time magazine.
Listen to this motherfucker. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to say that, man. I know I got good people to watch the show. I don't want to hear all that flirting filth, man. I don't mean to do that. I'm saying he's just like, listen here, Time Magazine. You know, who's this guy? You know what I'm saying? Listen here. You know, it's because he's president doesn't mean you got to make him Time president. Listen here. Let me talk to you. Come here. Listen here, Time Magazine. Starts shaking his ass in his chair. Listen here. You listen here, Lemonhead. Shut up. Yeah, shut all the way up with your crocodile tear ass. Oh, God. I just believe so much in this country and so much we can do. Oh. You know, this does not change anything. What Time Magazine is trying to do, and what many media entities are trying to do, is save face. Okay, they want to get along the next 4 years. They're doing shit in good faith because they know what they did to the guy last time he was in office, and they're like, you know what? Hey man, hey, if you'll forget, if we can make bygones be bygones, let's go ahead and do that shit. Because look, we got other things we need to worry about. How about you don't destroy me, and I'll do my best not to try to destroy you again. So nothing's wrong with that. But see, Don Lemon, he come from the school of he got to be the perpetually offended.
What do you say to the women who, I guess, still read Time Magazine? Or the women who are, don't they do like a whole Time 100 thing or something, which, you know, what about the women who are on that list? What about that? I'm sure some of them will had dealt with issues that women have to deal with, like discrimination in the workplace, SA, all kinds of things.
Better or for worse is not much of a ringing.
Oh, before we get to her, you know, hey guys, you know, it sucks to be. One of the worst things, folks, is to have, and I'm sure we all can relate to this. So let's say this out loud. It sucks to be a part of any group that gets used constantly as a political football to help another group. Women, let me tell you something, women. You think the Democrats are your friend? They ain't your god. Friend? A friend would have ratified Roe versus Wade long time ago. That's what a friend would do. A friend would have gone ahead and sealed that deal for you. They would have went on and asked you. They would have put a ring on it. That's what they would have done. To quote Beyonce, Destiny's Child, they would have put a ring on it. Democrats talk a good game. They say all this smack. They use your name just like they do black people. Women, it's like this. The Democrats, this is what they do. This is why the title is Democrats versus Republicans, who's really in control. I changed it. It was different. I forget what it was. Here's what's important. When you are part of one of these groups, the Democratic Party tries to use your group against you. That's why they like having groups. This is the only reason why it matters. See, they use groups only to benefit themselves. So whether it's women, oh, women, you got to protect your right to your body because, you know, if not, the Republicans are going to come and control your bodies. Okay, so they got that. So then the same thing, LGBTQ. Oh, God, if you're LGBTQ, oh, you got to have us or you won't be able to, if you're a man transitioning to a woman, a trans woman, you want to use the bathroom with the other young ladies, you need us because we'll make sure we feel bad about you when you can't. They're going to fix shit. They just use it as a wedge, a way to get votes. But my favorite, and the most used of all groups, the blacks. Oh, black people, oh my God, the poor black people. Listen here, black people, we feel for you. We're so tired of our society being so unfair to you. Oh, gosh, I know you just want equity. I understand that. And look, those guys across the street, they hate you. They hate you. They just can't help themselves. They're degenerates and deplorables and garbage people. You understand? Not like us. And this is what we're going to do. We want you to go out and get all the votes for us. And what we'll do is continue to say that over and over again. Yeah, we'll just continue saying that things are bad for you. We won't fix any of the things that are bad. We'll just keep saying it, until you feel like there's nothing you can do without us. Yeah. We keep telling you we're going to take away your right to vote. We keep telling you all the things they're going to do to you just to keep you with us. So all the Democrats do is use whatever group they assigned you against you to aid themselves, to help themselves. That's all it is. It does not benefit you. How does it benefit you? So that's why I say these people are disgusting. This is why I say the Democratic Party is the party that's more evil. They are the bigger evil. People keep asking that question. Well, Tim, I got to go with the lesser evil, man, because, I got to do that. Well, you know what? I think the Democrats are the greater evil. Because they use, for me as a black man, it's the greater evil because they use my color. They use all forms of discrimination against me in order to manipulate me into supporting them, and for nothing. My mind is on the money. My mind is on money. Money. Because I can't be worried about what some white lady outside of Walmart said after having a couple drinks or whatever. I can't. That doesn't move me. That doesn't move my mortgage. That don't walk my doggy. Okay? So back to this. Let's keep going, guys. So anyway, I forgot why I went on that rant, but it was important because Don Lemon wants to use the women. He wanted to use the women and say, oh, you couldn't give John, why'd you give Trump Person of the Year? There are women sitting there who are in danger because of him. Now, they're in danger because y'all didn't ratify Roe versus Wade. Because you wanted to keep Ruth Bader Ginsburg's old relic ass on the bench, way past her shelf time. That was your choice. That was by choice. And I believe you didn't do it because you knew at some point you'd be able to run on it. All right. Now, speaking of butthurt people that are upset that Donald Trump got Person of the Year in Time magazine, another person that's worried about white people stuff way too much would be Joy Reid from mostly MSNBC. Mostly shameless. What does MSNBC stand for? I forget what. Here she is complaining.
Endorsement. And we all know which one Trump falls under. And let's remember who else has been given this title in years past in the same category. Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Ayatollah Khomeini, and Vladimir Putin. In fact, Stalin won the distinction twice, just like Trump. Regardless of the company he keeps, we know how important these magazine covers are to Trump. Just look at this tour he gave the Washington Post in 2015 of his Trump Tower office, with a wall adorned with his various cover appearances.
Yeah, so yeah. I already covered that though. So it's really anticlimactic because I already hit on that, didn't I? Yeah, I did my due diligence. I forgot I even did that. See, I did Joy's job for her. Aren't I special? Here's the take. This is how it works, Sugar Lips. So what? Yeah, so what? Time magazine, private magazine, pick whoever they want. Could have chose whoever. You're lucky they didn't choose Luigi Mangione. Dodged that bullet, didn't you? Yeah, could have chose Luigi. Really got you upset. Got your little thongs in a pickle, didn't it? Yeah, yeah. Could have went on and did that. Really ticked some of y'all assholes on me. Really got you upset. Really grinded your gears. Grind your gears a little bit on that one. Get good old Luigi up there. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, this is not something to be melting down. You want to melt down about something, melt down about the price of everything. Still, we have not truly gotten out of this, whatever that was that happened because of Biden's stupid shit. We need to be out. We need every price. We need prices to come down. Like the wall in Germany, the wall, we like the Great Wall to fall. We need prices to fall like the Great Wall. We need prices to come off like pounds off the fat off Lizzo's back. You know what I'm saying? She lost a lot of weight. That's how we need prices to drop. You know, we need things to lighten up. We need to lighten the mood like Serena Williams has been lightening her skin. We need things to change. And what we are not concerned about is who gets to be on the cover of said magazine. None of us are going to read. But yet you'll be butthurt about. All right, guys, give it up for that. Woo! Yeah, man, yeah. All right. Now's the time to hit the like button on the show, man. Hit the like button. I want to say what's up to my people on Rumble. Or maybe I got one person watching on Rumble. I don't know. If anybody is available, I have no idea. Probably not. I don't even know how Rumble works, guys. You know, it's possible I was supposed to do something, and I have no idea if I did it. Did I kick off anything for Rumble? I don't even know. I don't know. Was there something? Look at this. I don't even know. I don't know. Am I live on Rumble? Anybody on Rumble? Is Tim Black? Is Rumble happening? Yeah, I'm live on Rumble. 11 people viewed me on Rumble. Hey! Hey, man, that's good. That's good, man. Like, yo, you don't know. That's 11 more people than shit. I'm not usually on the Rumble platform. You know, guys, could you share this show out to Twitter and Facebook or something? I meant to do it. I want Twitter people to come to YouTube. They just won't. And I can't seem to catch a break, you know, with Elon Musk. So, yeah, so I figure I just put my show on. I just put my show on YouTube and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna share it on Twitter real quick, guys. How's the show going so far? Everybody okay? You know, is things going okay over there on our YouTube? Everybody okay in the comment section? Anything I should know about happening? Anything happening? No, nothing happened. Okay. I want to give a shout out to Black News Daily. Give a shout out to Black News Daily for making me for covering the Tim Black Show and saying very kind words. Black News Daily. Shout out to Miss Juicy on Black News Daily for her support. Give it up for Black News Daily, y'all. Anybody got anything nice to say about me, man? I appreciate it, man. I'm telling you, man, we had a rough year, man. Woo! All right, guys, let's go to the next story. So they're upset about Trump. We did that one. Remove that. Something's been happening lately, and I can't really put my finger on it, but it seems like the Democratic Party is hell-bent on making Van Jones the smartest of the goofies. And I'm really I'm trying to decide if it's just Van taking advantage of dum-dums, or is it like should we dap him up, or should we just be like, keep our eye on him? Because Van will cry in a minute. Just him and Tim Jones, him and Tim Scott just cry. Oh, come on. Just in a minute, just immediately cry over something. But when Van Jones has been crying lately, he's been socking it to the Democrats. Here he is socking it to
hell did Donald Trump figure out the mainstream media is the fringe and the fringe is now the mainstream? How the hell did Donald Trump figure out? I mean, Joe Rogan is obvious, right? Like, we knew the guy had a big audience. It's not like we were like stunned, but like, how the hell was he, the 78-year-old guy who doesn't even have a computer and still like writes handwritten notes, how did he become the guy who cracked the code on, to your point, running a cultural, I don't even want to say campaign, running
It was a movement.
cultural
Look,
movement, heading a cultural movement versus a campaign.
every one of your people knows Elon. Listen,
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody keeps. I mean, the problem is you have a framework in your mind that how can Donald Trump? Guys, can we cut it out? Donald Trump is not an idiot. Donald Trump. Let me just be very clear. Donald Trump is smarter than me, you, and all critics. You know how I know? Because he has the White House, the Senate, the House,
Totally agree.
The popular vote. He has a massive media ecosystem bigger than the mainstream built around him and for him, and a religious fervor in a political movement around him. And his best buddy is the richest person in the history of the world, and the most relevant Kennedy is with him. This dude is a phenomenon. He is the most powerful human on earth and in our lifetime, and we're still saying, well, how is this guy? We look like idiots to ordinary people.
You're totally right.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to say, man, something's going on here. Something's going on, man. I don't know, man. Something's happening. Something's happening. Yo, like real talk, people. Van Jones has morphed into a thing where he's this person that whispers to the Democrats. Now, don't get me wrong, it's very basic shit. Democrats, some of them are still stuck on stupid, running around going, Trump evil, or, Trump evil. And Van Jones has simply evolved. He stands upright. He uses all his vowels and uses words to describe his feelings. He doesn't resort to calling Trump Orange Man evil and Hitler and Stalin. He's operating within the framework, which is currently the actual reality, which is Donald Trump did win the presidency. He didn't win it by a little bit, and he does control the country in that aspect. And it is what you call a mandate when you get the House, the Senate, and you in the White House. And Van just put it out perfectly. I mean, if you want, nothing for nothing. You might not like Elon, but it'd be kind of good to have a friend that has more money than anybody else. That'd be kind of good to have a friend like that. Some of y'all got friends that are weirder than Elon, and they don't have shit. They couldn't loan you $5, let alone give you $5 million or $50 million. You realize during the campaign, Elon was like, I'm just going to give away $1 million a day for anybody who tries to do some door knocking or canvassing or whatever. He ran a raffle to give them money. You realize this? What do your friends do for you? Kamala's friends came out and shook asses with Cardi B or whatever. But that's not the same. So look, what happened was Donald Trump outsmarted the Democratic Party, exposed the hell out of it, and outsmarted them, and now they're running scared and they're all butthurt. And Van Jones, he has appeared to be the guy that's look, I'm gonna capitalize off this. I am not. He said, he's trying to thread the needle. But let's be real, man. Van Jones is already working with Trump. But they were beating up on Trump. Remember D.L. Hughley was beating the shit out of Van Jones because Van Jones is working with Trump and with with Kim Kardashian and shit. Remember the First Step Act? They were all shitting on Van Jones for doing that with Cut 50. I had Cut 50 on my show. Brother came on my show and we talked about the First Step Act. I supported it. I didn't support any political parties, but I supported that because that bill, I knew that bill was good and it could help people. But the Democrats shitted on it, by and large, and they gave Van Jones all types of grief for working on that legislation that became the biggest impact piece of mass incarceration, anti-mass incarceration legislation of the last 20 years was that bill. And they didn't want Trump to have that feather in his hat. And he still went on to lose that 2020 election. So they've been shitting on Van Jones all this time because he had the audacity. Remember when he said, he said things like, when he gave that speech, in that moment, he became the president of the United States. And then we had D.L. Hughley, we had all these people coming out. They were dumping all over Van Jones, saying what a sellout he was. And every time I turned around Democrats, how much a sellout Van Jones was. Well, guess what? For the next 4 years, he get to be in the House. He already got the money. He picked up how many millions was it? Was it 10 million, 20 million? I don't even know the number of millions. Was it 30 million? I forget the number. 50 million? What was it? The guy Bezos gave Van Jones. Van Jones quietly keeps winning, and we talking, like I talk shit about Van, he deserved it, man. All the crying, but he's crying to the bank. Okay, here goes the bingo card, yo. Check this out. I'd rather be Van Jones than D.L. Hughley's punk ass any day. Yeah, D.L., you talked all that shit riding for your Democratic Party. At the end of the day, somebody is riding you riding coach. Van is private jet. And if he is still cool with the Kardashians and cool with Ben, what's his name? The son, whatever his name is, the Jewish son, Trump, the guy married to Melania, not Melania. I don't know. His daughter, Ivanka's husband, whatever his name is. So Van is in there, man. But where are you, D.L. Hughley? You're on the outside, still talking smack about them. So like, Van has played everybody. You know what Van is? Van is like that guy in Usual Suspects. Yeah, he's like the guy in the Usual Suspects. He's walking off, got the limp and shit. You know, doing like this. Then it turns into a pimp, like, what's up, man? Doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do, man. That's what it is. First, it's walking all messed up like the penguin and shit. Then it turns into a little gait. Then it turns into a straight up strut. You know what I'm saying? With a fine cutie on his arm. Going to the big house, baby. That's Van Jones, man. He has won. And all the naysayers, all of them, are sitting back hating. And they get to sit back for 4 years, stewing in their own juices. And it appears that some people have figured it out, and they want to be on the right side of this. They don't want 4 years of sitting in the outhouse. They could not fathom being in a position that they are in. And that's what I love. I like seeing them mad. I like seeing them mad because they don't mean that's any good. They're not fighting for us. They're fighting for their own jobs. People think these people have been fighting for their own careers. That's why they're so upset. They were looking for a job from Kamala. They thought they would be sitting next door to power. Roland Martin, D.L. Hughley, Al Sharpton. They all thought they would be sitting next to power. They have a powerful woman who looks black and shit, and they owes them that she might owe them a favor, or they could be in with her. And at the end of the day, that shit did not pan out, and they are upset. So I just want to say, nothing for nothing, the Van Jones, that seemed to work out. And to that point, there was another panel, the New York Times panel, where Van was on also with Kellyanne Conway. They had some words to say. I thought they were very pointed as well.
Rivals and put them on his campaign committee. This is the stuff that why nobody.
All of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that in early May. Let's be honest. Part of the reason that President Biden could not step aside is people didn't have confidence in the competence of Kamala Harris. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that she has worked hard. She does speak well. The American people saw it differently. And I'm relieved to hear that very few lessons, it sounds like, have been learned by my Democratic
Oh,
colleagues.
wait, I'll get my turn. Oh, wait.
I hear yours, but let me just say this. Maggie, I think that this election was also about moments that Donald Trump has this sense of the culture. He just gloms onto a cultural zeitgeist and leads it. So I think him, rather than banning TikTok like Joe Biden did and Kamala Harris did, by extension, he got on it. And Forbes magazine wrote an article maybe 2 weeks ago, tops, saying of the 10 top TikToks of 2024, 8 came from the Trump campaign, 5 in the last week alone. So he's in the garbage truck, he's at McDonald's. You're watching Joe Rogan live, but then other people are watching it through TikTok. He goes to East Palestine before any official in the Biden-Harris administration, before the Secretary of Transportation, before the sitting senior senator, now the ex-senator of Ohio, Sherrod Brown. And he's honoring the police officer who's slain in Massapequa, New York on Long Island, while Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden are all at Radio City Music Hall at a fundraiser. He beats Kamala Harris to Georgia and North.
Yeah, so man, Kellyanne Conway, she's like really digging into the Democratic Party, and she's pointing out why Donald Trump was the victor, why it went down the way it did. And she's like really like raking him over the coals. But she's like spot on about the facts. I mean, he won this thing because he outworked him. He outworked him and he outthought him and he had a better team. And that's what it was. And then Van Jones comes in.
Everywhere.
Ridiculous.
J.D. Vance
Absolutely.
went everywhere, right?
People voted for change.
I want John Carl to speak to this, and Major and Margaret after
personal.
Dan talks, but we're getting a little behind here. The issue of the media approach is actually a really important one.
Yeah.
The issue of the issues, immigration and coronavirus, which we haven't even discussed yet, and I want to get to. But Van, please make your point.
Okay, so look, guys, a lot of the stuff we're doing is the same stuff we do all the time. We got a chance to talk real here. I want to talk real. You guys shouldn't be as happy as you are because 2016 people voted for change because they were fed up and sick of it and gave Trump a chance. 2020 people voted for change because they were sick of Trump. 2024 they voted for change. They're probably going to vote for change a bunch more times because something is off, man. There's something really going wrong for real everyday working folks in this country. And I'm not sure either party has an answer yet. We know how to beat each other up when the other one's in power. But can we solve any of these problems? My perspective doesn't come from the focus groups. It doesn't come from sitting on CNN next to my beloved Anderson Cooper. I was on the ground supporting folks in Philadelphia, trying to get folks to vote. I was trying to help Jewish voters get to the polls in the Philly suburbs. And I'm telling you, we are way off. The entire political class is way off. First of all, digital is a new door knocking. You got to understand that. We were laughing our butts off at Donald Trump for suspending his door knocking campaign and letting Charlie Kirk and Elon do a bunch of stuff online. We said, these guys are idiots. These guys are stupid. Then you start knocking on these doors. You know what people come to the door with? Their phone in their hand. They're in a 24-hour digital surround sound that has nothing to do with CNN, has nothing to do with any stuff that we do. I got a teenage son. I asked him, who are the most influential people in the world today? I'm thinking to myself, he's going to say Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z. He says, Kai Cent, Aiden Ross, Jinxie, and Sketch. I don't know who he's talking about. I said, what platforms are you on? He goes, I'm on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. I said, that sounds like you need to go to the hospital. What are these platforms? I'm telling you guys, the mainstream has become fringe, and the fringe has become mainstream.
There you go, Johnson. So I'm just pointing out that Van Jones has been right more than he's been wrong when it comes to this, and now he's getting a victory lap on him, even though he says he's with the Democratic Party. Yeah, they don't. Most of the time, the way that folks have been coming at him because he has taken those opportunities where he was more bipartisan than they wanted him to be. He was too Trump friendly. Now you get to win, and I don't got a problem with that. And people say, they consider you Trump friendly if you're not Democratic. You're not a Democratic Party water carrier. Even for somebody like Van Jones, who even worked for Obama, he's not even Democrat enough for them. You know, so you have to basically name your child after the Democratic Party. You have to basically bathe and drink the bathwater of Kamala Harris. Because if you do not do that, you have not done sufficiently what is necessary to show your supreme loyalty to all things Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And they were all willing to do that, and all of them did it. And I totally disagree. I don't drink bathwater. You feel me? And I ain't interested in either one of these parties at all. I just want the best deal that's possible for my people to get. Working class people need somebody's going to fight for them. If Trump's going to have the rhetoric of populists, but not actually have put the work in behind it, that's going to show. And that'll mean there'll be Democrats will probably be back right back. I take that point. That point's pretty substantial. I think it's possible. But if the Democrats don't wake up and realize they need to change on a lot of fronts, it's the game over for them. I'm happy with them going away and some other parties coming up. We need more parties, not less parties, but I do not have a shred of loyalty to any political party, particularly the Democrats or Republican Party. That ain't what I'm on. I'm on whatever works for us, the people. That's what we got to fight for. People over politics. So, but I just think it's funny. We sit back, we watch the horse race, we look at what's happened, and just see their faces just melting from their bodies. It's an amazing thing. And yeah, I'm enjoying watching them fidget. Yeah, fidget and lose their minds collectively as Van Jones calls them all out. It seems a little bit, like a little dig here and there, but hey, it's good stuff. They deserve it. They got it coming. They had everything, man. $1.5 billion and you blew it. Hey, man, say it all the time. You just want an opportunity to compete. Once upon a time, we wanted an opportunity to compete. You had your opportunity to compete. Everyone wants the opportunity to be on the field, to line up. When the Democrats lined up with $1.5 billion and they blew it. You can make that about Van Jones. You can make it about independent content creators like myself. Until they had a guts to look in the mirror and say it's about them being shit, then they deserve to lose. Give it up for that. Yeah. They deserve to lose, Johnson. So with that, guys, I want to hit the like button for me if that made sense, folks. If that made sense to you, if it resonated at all with you, hit the like button. Let people know that you're watching the Tim Black Show right here. And we do this every, well, not every day, but every day except Tuesday and Saturdays. How about that? All right, guys, I want to go to the next story, man. I'm kind of feel like I'm getting bogged down a little bit. I want to come back. Here we go. Let's get into this, man. I kind of covered this yesterday, but I wanted to revisit it just briefly here. Because Ben Shapiro came out with a video that went sort of viral, and I saw people kind of checking him on some things. I saw they checked him. I didn't watch them check him. Ben Shapiro was upset about Bill Burr. Weird, right? Upset about a comedian making comments about Luigi Mangione about the shooting of the CEO, the New York CEO, United Healthcare. Check out Ben Shapiro, man. Let's take Ben apart. Let's rip his soul apart real quick. It won't take long. Check it out.
Vulnerable and the marginalized. So presumably, Bill Burr should have to live in fear of making a joke. Bill Burr should have to live in fear because he doesn't know who he's damaging. In any case, here is Bill Burr openly cheering the murder of a United Health executive because he says CEOs should live in fear.
Let's be clear here. That's not what Bill Burr did, but this is the clip that Ben Shapiro wants to play in order to justify his rant against Bill Burr as he vilifies Bill Burr for being a comedian and talking. Check it out.
If they don't act in the way that he would have them act, in a system that he has no fixes for, by the way.
You know what's annoying me about this kid who killed this CEO is none of these news programs are talking about the incredible lack of empathy from the general public about this because of how these insurance companies treat people when they are at their most vulnerable after we've all given them our money every month, and now we finally need you, and all you do is deny us. And then all of these things are taking the pictures of their CEOs off their websites. You know, I got to be honest with you, okay? I love that that CEOs are afraid right now. You should be. By and large, you're all a bunch of selfish, greedy pieces of shit, and a lot of you are mass murderers. You just don't pull the trigger. That's why it looks clean. That's why these people look, oh my God, oh, he was just, you know, walking into a hotel. It's like, okay, but what was his job? What did he do? What was the results of it?
Okay, Bill Burr is a piece of. Okay, well, what he is saying here is truly evil. He's truly evil. He's saying you should live in fear if you're the CEO of a company and that company does things that Bill Burr deems to be bad things. Now, we have laws on the books, for example, that prevent.
Well, first of all, before we get to that, let's just point out the audacity and the hypocrisy of Ben Shapiro as he tries to assign this type of nonsense to Bill Burr. Bill Burr, he may be provocative in his words. That's what comedians do, but he is in no way justifying violence. He is you can interpret it as hyperbole, guys speaking, loosely. As a comedian, that's what they do. It's called satire. Ben. You may have heard of it. You know, comedians make jokes. They make satire. They make things bigger than they are. They dramatize. It's a common comedic tool. That's what you do. Wait till Ben realizes that no rabbi, a monk, and a kung fu expert ever walked into a bar together. These are like setups for jokes, Goofy. That's what they do. And no, never in life has a chicken crossed the road to do anything other than to go get some more chicken or some barbecue sauce or some shit. So, these are comedy bits. You know, be a goofy if you want to, Ben Shapiro, but at least recognize that this is the profession of a comedian that you're complaining about. Burr criticizes, his critiques are for the system, not individuals, emphasizing the frustration many feel towards insurance companies. He's not advocating harm. In fact, he says he was pointing out the media, the lack of empathy, the lack of focus that the media put on the lack of empathy people felt for the healthcare CEO. That's what he was pointing out. And he said, and the reason why they feel that way is because the people feel like they've been taken advantage of. That's it. So Ben is with hypocrisy often. I'm still wondering why people say that Ben Shapiro is so smart. No, he talks fast, but if you stop and check his ass, then you see he's not that smart. Let's keep going. I'm going to prove my point.
Things like fraud. Okay? We have laws on the books that prevent things like embezzlement. We have laws on the books that punish criminal activity. If you don't like the system, and many people don't, the proper response.
Yeah, we have laws. No, we don't have laws that prevent. We don't have laws that prevent people being denied coverage. We don't have laws that prevent CEOs of corporations from doing very heinous things. What we have is laws that are meant to try to punish or discourage certain activity due to the threat of punishment. But when you are these CEOs and you have deep pockets, when you have lobbyists, when you have the money to hire very effective counsel, you can avoid the pain of the law, of the legal system. That's the whole point, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro starts his rant off, you guys don't know, saying how Bill Burr is detached, that he's no longer on the cutting edge of his audience. It seems like Bill Burr is more with the cutting edge of his audience than Ben Shapiro. Burr's comparisons reflect societal anger over systems inequalities and inequities in healthcare, where life or death decisions are influenced by corporate profit motives. While exaggerated, his critique aims to spotlight the moral failings of the corporations. Not Brian Thompson himself, but the corporations. The corporation will continue. It's the industry. It's the method of operation that's the problem.
To that system would be legislation. In a democratic republic, the way that you fix problems is you have open discussions of the details of those problems, and then you try to craft regulatory or legal fixes. You do not say that it is a good thing that CEOs should live in fear of their lives because Bill Burr deems them morally inferior.
Well, the idea is that it may be possibly. Even, now, remember, this is a joke. Not what Bill Burr deems that their activity is whatever. No, we're talking about the people. We're talking about society. See what I'm saying? It's not about Bill Burr himself. This is not King Burr. Just Bill Burr, comedian. He's just one guy. But he was talking about the way that the public, the general public, the general working class public, how they feel about how they get treated by the insurance companies. Not good. And I thought you were a part of the general people. It appears that Ben Shapiro is not a part of that. Ben Shapiro is a part of another group. I wonder what group that would be. Oh, that's right. It's called the elites. That's why everything sounds so foreign to you. And never did Bill Burr or most people that have been commenting on this that I know of, none of them are saying, "Ooh, go hurt people." That would be advocating for violence, would be saying, "Hey, go do XYZ violent thing." No one said that. We're just saying the reason why people are not upset as you think they should be about what happened to Thompson is because they know what's happened to Mary Jane or Billy D or Billy Williams or Edgar something or Susie or Gretchen or Natasha or Nisi or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Like Jerome, we know the backlash, we know the pain that others have suffered. Regular people, not this one CEO, but the cumulative effect of many Americans feeling taken advantage of and being at their most desperate, most vulnerable time, a system in which they paid into, not getting treated fairly. And by the time it's sorted out, their person, their loved one, is deceased in most cases.
Bill Burr doing his blue-collar class routine act is a bunch of horse. Bill Burr is worth $14 million, and he makes his money making crap movies for Netflix at this point.
And I think it's always rich to me when you have a rich guy complaining about another rich guy, even though the person who's doing the complaining has more money than the person they're complaining about. So Ben Shapiro makes a point to say, hey, Bill Burr can't speak to the issues of working class people because he's rich. And then he cites that Bill Burr is worth how much? $14 million? Ben Shapiro is worth $50 million. But you know what? I'll take a $14 million heir, speaking on behalf of working class people, as long as they do so effectively and with some form of sincerity and ethics, over the richer, the $50 million millionaire who's talking out the side of his ass and talking down about working class people and then trying to play the working class who's authentically working class game. When you're the one defending the CEO. You're defending not just the CEO, you're defending the system that has left us, many Americans, upset, pissed off, heartbroken, distraught, and some dead. D-E-A-D, deceased, Mr. Shapiro.
Again, this basic idea, if we're going to have a functioning country, you can't justify the murder of people who run their businesses legally in ways with which you disagree. It is
no one justified the murder of anyone. What we are is explaining the cause of said anger towards or lack of empathy for the victim in this case. Because we realize that victim is actually the culprit behind making other victims. And I know that's when your brain short circuits. You cannot think beyond a certain point. You cannot factor this in. You can't hold these two thoughts in your head at one time. Things start going haywire for you, but it's about the fact that CEO, that industry, those CEOs and those industries, these corporations have these practices that harm working class people. They harm American citizens. And that's why people feel the way they feel. That's not justifying what happened to them. It's not justifying, it's us saying, hey, what the corporations are doing is unjustifiable. And people are making that the prominent point.
One thing to disagree with them. You can call them whatever you want. When you start justifying them living in fear or suggesting maybe they should be murdered, I'm just wondering what the limiting principle.
When you start justifying that insurers do not insure procedures that have been paid for by those insurance policies. The purpose of insurance policy is what? To be insured. Why are you justifying them denying those policies? Why are you justifying the system taking advantage of the most vulnerable at their most vulnerable point? That's what it sounds like to me. But it doesn't stop Shapiro there. He's going to continue to draw a parallel between Bill Burr's rhetoric and a murderer, which aren't the same thing.
Principle here is, I'm wondering what it is. The alleged shooter in this case was echoing Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. The Unabomber suggested that if you were, for example, an oil executive, maybe you should be murdered. Because after all, there were externalities to the oil industry. Why not the banking industry? Why not? Maybe Bill Burr doesn't like the banks. After all, that bank denied grandma her loan. So maybe Jamie Dimon should be tracked down and murdered.
Nah, see, well, I don't know. Maybe he should, but I don't know him. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why you would float that out there. That's not good to put out in the ethos. But I'd say it is. Bill Burr is allowed to use satire. He's a comedian. That's what he does. I don't think you're suggesting that he aligns with the Unabomber or radical, any type of radicalization misrepresents the whole idea of him, the nature and intent of his words, which I thought was to just cause a conversation, to make a jokey joke. It's crazy. It's crazy how these guys do this, where comedians are not doing bits even on podcasts or on stage. They're making proclamations. They're making declarations. When you disagree with them, they're making declarations and proclamations. But when you agree with them, they're just being funny and humorous and, gosh, we really need them. And they keep the levity so that we can, have a little lightness in our lives. So it's just the hypocrisy of Ben Shapiro. Why you guys keep fronting like Ben Shapiro is such a smart guy? He's really not, man. He just talks fast and keeps saying the same thing. And most of it is bluster.
This kind of stuff is full stop evil. It is evil.
Okay, define evil. How is it evil? It's evil to make a joke. It's evil for a comedian to talk about how Americans feel about the situation that occurred, how Americans feel about their health care. That's evil. No, what's evil is the practice of denying people access to the health care that they paid for. That's evil. It's evil for someone to not be able to get the procedure. That's the whole purpose of having a policy. That's evil. What's also evil is to come up here in front like you are of good intentions, that you are above board, Mr. Ben Shapiro, and then prove to be opposite.
I don't care what complaints you have with the health insurance company. The notion that the solution to those complaints is the murder of the executives is sick.
It's sick that you can't get the difference. Bill Burr never said, hey, people go out and take out CEOs. So why do you keep implying that's what he said if that's not what he said? I mean, he's a comedian. If he wanted to make that joke, he could have made it. He didn't make that joke. He didn't say everybody take up arms and go hurt CEOs. What's stuck up your ass, buddy, that you keep repeating the same old narrative, and this BS it's not even close to what he said. You played the clip of what he said. Did he say something different than what's in the clip? Because you keep attributing things to his short statement that were not stated in that statement. Like, I did not hear that. So nah, he did not tell people to take up arms and hurt CEOs. Ben Shapiro is a jackass. Ben Shapiro is a gaslighting jackass and also a liar. I said that very intently, and I meant what I said, but you can't put extras on it and make it seem like I said something else. I did not call for you to be hurt. I just said you're an asshole and a liar.
If you were living in a tyrannical society where you didn't have any legal correctives to any of this, and you had no alternatives in terms of Medicaid, which does exist, and you had no alternatives in terms of other health insurance programs, then you can make the argument in a full-scale monarchic tyranny that assassination is a proper response to this. But that's not the system in which we live. And promulgating that lie leads to greater violence. It leads to justification of all violence.
Nah, I think what happened here is Ben Shapiro is just butthurt that the CEO got his comeuppance. and he has to protect those with the big money pockets. He will continue to do so. Yeah, to try to take away the voice of people being able to say how they feel and to be able to comment on that without you attributing things to them that didn't happen. And also, Bill Burr is allowed to use satire and hyperbole and exaggerations in order to make his points in a comedic fashion. That's what comedians do. They earn that. You started off this thing saying how, Bill Burr is a comedian. And comedians have a certain level of, we give them a leeway. Doesn't sound like you gave him any leeway at all. It sounds like you just butthurt. You're looking for somebody somehow to counter what the rest of the country's feeling, which is, hey, sometimes CEOs get popped. Sort of the way sometimes people get denied coverage. Why is the later, no big deal, but the former is such a big deal, you're about to jump out the gym and lose your damn mind. You are completely butthurt over that. So yeah, that's pathetic. Yeah, I'm just wondering why people, what is it about this Shapiro guy that people are so, if you slow him down, he's just saying the same thing over and over and over again. And he's making up stuff and he's stating it like it's fact. Bill Burr is evil. That's not an argument. That's just an opinion. And it's not even based and not even rooted in anything. Because he made a joke that you didn't like, you say he's evil. Let's keep the party going, man. By all means. I mean, feel free to join the rest of society. I mean, Shapiro claims that that Bill Burr is the one that's out of touch with society. Well, it's obviously that Shapiro, he ain't missed a meal in a long time, and he hasn't even been around anyone who has. Or he'd been better at this. All right, so yeah, man. I got like 3 more things. I guess we could get to them. Let's get to them. What the hell, man? It's Friday night, I got a bottle of wine in the cooler upstairs. I'll hit that after this, man. Enjoy my evening. Chill out a little bit. I don't know how you guys are doing. But what the hell, man? Let's go a little further. I'm trying to understand why people are upset with Caitlin Clark so much. I want to talk about Caitlin Clark because they are livid with her about this. And I heard her, I hadn't heard her words directly until now. And this guy, Scott Jennings on CNN, I thought Scott was one of the guys, man, because I like when he calls out the Democratic Party on their BS, but here I'm not understanding. So maybe some of y'all can help me understand what Scott tried to say here with Caitlin. I don't get it.
Your announcement for Athlete of the Year, like tremendous, incredible positive feedback. That's what we've seen across the board. There's always going to be some negativity. And I feel like you have had to answer more questions than anybody about the intersectionality of race and gender and sexuality in sport because of just who you are and you represent the growth of this thing. And even earlier today, Megyn Kelly, she was saying that you were apologizing for your white privilege and the fact that you wanted to uplift Black female athletes and make sure that they were getting the shine, kind of like your pioneers were getting the shine that they deserved. And I just want to know how you feel or how you respond to some of those criticisms when you have to deal with something that it's really not your problem. Like, I feel like it's them looking in a mirror a little bit, but it still comes down on your shoulders.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing Black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. And that's something I'm very aware of. And like I said, like, I try to just be real and authentic and, share my truth. And I think that's very easy for me. Like, I'm very comfortable in my own skin. And that's kind of been how it is my entire life.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I'm not understanding what she said. It's so crazy. I mean, Yeah, I'm not getting anything negative from that. I mean, she says, hey, I earned where I'm at. I worked very hard to be where I'm at. It wasn't given to me. I earned it. How's she groveling by saying some shit like that? Like I'm just not getting, I'm not understanding. Maybe it's something I'm missing. But she doesn't sound like, hey, I'm a white girl, so they just made me the ish. No, she's actually a phenomenal player. And she practiced and played and practiced and played and dedicated her life to her sport. And now she's in that position and she's able to do what very few people can do, regardless of color. Like, it's just what it is. But meanwhile, she's playing ball with these people who have created a league, because what good will one player be without a league, right? So she's saying, hey, I want to give it up to the people that made this league possible for me to come in here and play this game. You know what I'm saying? This shit is dope. I dreamed of playing in this league, and now I'm doing it. So thank y'all for holding this league down. I don't understand what's up, why that's a problem. Why people are butthurt by that. Like, am I missing something? I really need people to put in the comment section what the problem is with that particular statement. I didn't see it. Maybe there's some other statements that were made that I'm not getting. Then here goes CNN with Scott Jennings, and they're going to go around the horn on this. So maybe this will shed light.
Why is she being bullied?
Why is that wrong?
Why is she being bullied for acknowledging something that's smart, truth, and factual?
Well, a couple things. Number one, whether you're an athlete or anyone else, if I hear you use the phrase "my truth," I immediately then discount everything else you say, because there isn't my truth or your truth. There's just the truth. And when you start using phrases like that, it tells me that
That's not true.
Your brain has been captured by something that I don't really respect.
That's not true.
Number two.
That's not true.
Number two, the attention the league got this year was amazing, and it was all because of her. She is an amazing player. The arenas were full when she played in them. The TV ratings were up when she was on television. That's undeniable. But the league still lost like $40 million this year. And it's never made money. And to me, when you're talking about having respecting people who built something, what did they build? A league that loses money every year? She has the capacity.
What do you mean,
to
what did they build? What do you mean, what did they build?
What kind of a business did they build?
The reason why it's still up and still running, whether it's losing money or not, is because of these black women who are in this.
Isn't it because of the investors?
No, Scott, stop it. You stop it now.
It's not. I was in Dickie's arena.
Who pays for it?
I was in Dickie's arena. Let me just tell you.
It says more about the people who are getting offended by it than her.
I think they're just disappointed that she appears to have been captured by the woke mob.
You don't like the
Here's the disappointment.
It's the white privilege.
Let him articulate this, because I want to learn something.
I feel a little bad for her, because she's going to learn that it will never be enough. No matter how much of the phrasing, no matter how much of the groveling you do, it will never be enough for the people in that league that hate her guts.
Why do you assume
they hate her guts?
Why do you assume that she is trying to pander? Isn't it
because
also,
I hear the language. It's the language of the pander. I hear the phrase white privilege. Sports is the one place where nobody on the field has any privilege at all. She doesn't get extra points when she shoots because she's white. She gets the same number of points as anybody else. Sports is the great equalizer, and it just felt like to a lot of people that she was groveling for no reason, because she is an amazing player who deserves all the accolades she's getting right now for doing what she's doing for women's basketball.
All right,
things were real.
Well, hold on, man. I want to say, man, I think I understand what he's trying to say, saying that when she's adopting certain language, it seems like she's only saying it to pander to black women. I get that part. I get what he's saying with that. I don't know if you would say pander. She just wants to get along with the players that she's playing with, and she wants to just show respect to those players. If they were older, like if it was, a Latino league or Asian league or whatever, she couldn't feel the same way about that. It's just, she would show homage to those people that have also been given these opportunities. But you got to remember, man, what Scott is trying to do is you're trying to avoid the elephant in the room, man. Man, come on now. There is one thing about having skills. You can have skills, and you can work really hard. But when it comes to marketability, when it comes to who they decide to choose based on marketability, everything's not about who can put the ball in the hoop best. Everything's not about who can do the best show, who can have the most entertaining news show around. It's also about who people aesthetically want to see and who they identify with. These all things can come out in the wash. People may decide, they turn on this thing, they cut on this, they see Tim Black, and they go, who's this bald-headed black dude? Who's this guy? Where's Hassan B? Where's this other guy? Where's Jank Hugo? Where's this Sam Cedarhead? Like, where are the people that look like me? Like, that happens. It's not always attributed to who's got the most talent, who has the better ability. I mean, no one does Clyburn like I do Clyburn, and I can do it. Amy Klobuchar, these people cannot hold a stick to the satire and the wit that I use when I do these shows. But you wouldn't know that. What I'm saying is, I understand you want to say that sports is a great equalizer. There is no great equalizer. When human people come involved with something, they can make decisions based on arbitrary reasons that have nothing to do with ability. That being said, man, look, man, it is unfortunate that it's a part of society. But you want to remake society for us, Scott, and make the world a better place? I really wish you could. I really wish we could just make it clear the deck and then nothing would matter ever again about race or gender or anything, particularly racist. Clear the decks and it never matter. But guess what? People will still make decisions based on it. People are going to make choices based on it. You're going to look at a fight. You're going to see a white guy and a black guy fight. You're going to think, hey, that white guy, hope that white guy beats that black guy. You're going to do it, Scott, because you are a white man in a system. You've been raised a certain way. And the black guy's going to look and say, I hope that black guy wins too. And it's going to be a lot of reasons because that black guy is raised up in a system. And look, and things being equal, that's just how it is. It's unfortunate that we have that. But people can't be real about this. That these things exist. We're born into this. We can try to fight our programming. We're trying to be of all people and rise above. But some of us aren't trying to rise above, are we? We got the Democratic Party trying to manipulate it and use it to their benefit. We got the Republican Party trying to act like none of this shit exists when it has existed for a very, very long time. I'm the first person in my family that had the same rights of white people. And my family's been in this country for 10 generations. And I got Scott getting here going, what's white privilege? Why are you talking about that? So yeah, these are things. And we don't want to focus on it all the time, man. Let's watch the damn game. Let's watch them play. Who can put the ball in the hoop, man? Who can score the bucket? Who's got the three-pointer, man? Who can take it to the rack? When I used to have time to watch basketball, I had much time for sports. But I'm still trying to understand why everybody upset with Caitlin. Caitlin's trying to fit in and trying to grow, and she's bringing a lot of great attention to the league, and she wants to be able to work and play with her teammates. People in the league, let her do that. But y'all turning on her, trying to throw it to the wolves because she just wants to get along with people. It doesn't want them to feel like they don't matter because they can't make the money that she makes. Is that how she do to a friend? I don't know. It's like you never really cared about Caitlin. You don't care about her. You don't care about her as a person, or you wouldn't kick her to the curb because she's done nothing to these conservatives at all. What'd she do to y'all that was so bad? What'd she do? Did she take a knee during the Star Spangled Banner or whatever? Did she take a knee during the anthem? What'd she do? Oh, she said, black women, thank you for black women in this sport who did what they had to do to help keep this league going. I got us. Let me help. And you want to shit on her for that? Is that because you don't want to recognize that there are inequities in our society? And her saying that proves it, and you don't want that to be the case, so people have to accept that some people were fed a plate of shit and forced to eat it? Huh? For hundreds of years? You want to pretend that didn't happen, huh? I bet you wouldn't feel that way if you were one of the people that were forced to eat the plate of shit. But so it's like, that's why I say, man, I can never be a conservative because I want people that can keep it real You gotta be able to just be real, say, hey, yeah, that happened, and we can just acknowledge it and keep it moving. But you want to deny reality. You want to pretend reality don't exist. You want to pretend that they didn't blow MLK's brains out. You want to pretend they didn't blow up those schools in 65. You want to pretend that the Dylan Roof shit didn't happen. This in 2012 or 14 or whatever, 15, whatever it was. You want to pretend that shit didn't happen. You want to act like what just happened at the market up there in Buffalo, New York, like Tops Market, like that didn't happen. You want to pretend. You want to focus on Daniel Penny in the loud Jordan Neely, but you don't want to talk about what happened in that supermarket. See, that's why I got a problem, you know, because you're not keeping it a buck. I'm not saying it's everything. I'm not saying there are other stories we could talk about as well, but when these conversations come up, have the guts to be honest. We can go back to sitting on the Democrats together and laughing about it, and slapping each other on the back about how much they lost, and how pathetic they are, and how their racial identity bullshit don't work. And I'm about to drill into Al Sharpton one more time. But Caitlin Clark is not the devil, nor is she a turncoat, in my opinion, for acknowledging that, you know, people that work really hard were really good players and just weren't able to draw the ticket sales that Caitlin Clark had for reasons. All right, let's keep it going. And look, and I noticed that something happened. I don't know what happened on the set of CNN, guys, but something went down. Something kicked off Scott Jennings, man, and him and Bakari. This is funny.
What Scott was not accurate about, which kind of happens around the table sometimes, although I know you want to be.
Don't touch me.
I can't touch you.
All right, everybody keep your hands to yourselves at the table.
All right, but one of the things Scott was not.
Scott looks like a pissed off little kid, man. What is going on, Scott? You are a grown man. Don't you ever sit up there and act. Look at this. What did Bakari do? He's like, don't touch me. You know,
happens around the table sometimes, although I know you want to be.
Don't touch me.
I can't touch you.
All right, everybody keep your hands to yourselves at the table.
All right, but one of the
damn, she said, don't touch me. Like, look, hey, man. Hey, I understand. Like, I'm no fan of Bakari Sellers either. And sometimes when people touch you, it's kind of big. They're trying to big dog you. Like, I don't know if some people understand this. Sometimes the people put their hands on you, it's like they're trying to big dog you, and like, you know, basically it's a tactic to strong arm you. They're trying to show their dominance on you sometimes. People will put their arms on you and hit you on the back and do shit like that. So I can understand that you may not prefer that. But to just say, get your hands off me, it seemed petty as hell, Scott. You seemed a little snowflakeish. And then I don't know, it just seemed a little pouty. You know, it seemed a little pouty there, sir. That's all. I mean, I'm just saying, hey, it's just what I noticed. It just seems pouty. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Not the best way to come across on TV, but hey, whatever, you know. Trump won, so Jesus. Okay. All right. Yeah. Gosh, guys. I thought it was hilarious. Can we go to Al Sharpton? We got time for Al Sharpton, right? Hey, guys, now remember. Want a cool mug? Go here. Go to timblackmug.com, pick up a mug. And become a Tim Black mug person. This is the first legacy edition, the first official mug of the Tim Black Show. It is politics for the people. That's what it is. That's what I do, politics for the people. In this next segment, man, I'm going to talk about a point that I think is important to make here. And I just want to shout out those people that understand that this particular segment is going to be tough. Let's go. Let's see. How can we put this? Al Sharpton has some choice words for Donald Trump in the border issue. And here he is making them, and then I'll have something to say. How about that?
Even the logistics of what he's talking about, he has not really laid out. Yes, it would cost $1 trillion, but you're going to deport them where? Do you have an agreement with the countries that they came from? How do you even know what countries they came from? So you're going to hire personnel to track down, do you come from Mexico? Do you come from Ecuador? I mean, the logistics of doing this is ridiculous because it will cost super money, take super time, and you have not worked out an agreement. You can't just put people on a plane and land in some other country's field without having clearance there while you're talking about tariffs against Mexico at the same time. So I think that if Trump's own supporters understood how loosely this was thrown together with no thought, they would have to say, wait a minute, and we're going to blow $1 trillion and really not be able to execute this.
Well, and just the idea of moving 11 million human beings. Are they on trains? Are they on buses?
Right.
Who would they get off and what happens?
And,
do they have
and to
diapers
house
for
them,
the babies? I mean,
to house them, who's going to pay for the housing? Who's going to guard them? Where's security? I mean, the enormous expense of this, I don't think anyone has realistically talked about it. He's just throwing things against the wall.
Okay, so check this out, guys. So I thought about this, and I said, wow, you know, it is amazing that Al Sharpton, the guy who seems like he takes up all this money, who got, I don't know, how much was it? Was it $500,000 from Kamala Harris's campaign for black people? He's supposed to be the black person advocate for the last 50 years. This is what this guy does. And what is he spending most of his time doing? What's he been doing? Now, notice this with the Congressional Black Caucus as well. Much of their advocacy is for the immigrant community, not for the black community. Yeah, I noticed that when the Jewish community, when their spokespeople, like their organizations and the people that are advocating on behalf of Jewish Americans, and this is no shade to them at all, they stay advocating for Jewish Americans. Yeah, they don't sort of conflate the two. I'm not saying they wouldn't assist or they wouldn't add to a conversation that was being had about other groups, but they don't do what Al Sharpton's doing. In this video, Al Sharpton is making all these points about why Donald Trump should not deport people that are here illegally. And saying, why would we spend money removing people who are here illegally? So he's saying, why would we spend money? We spend money jailing black people daily who break any type of law, right? We spend time, and white Americans and all Americans go to jail when they break laws. There is a repercussion for when you violate an ordinance, a state ordinance, say federal law or whatever. There is something for that. It's called jail. It's called court. It's called the justice system. Okay, so when people are here illegally, what must be the remedy for that? Al's making it sound like there should be nothing. And I just want to point out the horrific hypocrisy that we have black organizations that are supposed to be advocating for black Americans that continually spend a lot of their time and their credibility, expend a lot of political capital, raise their voice the most, and put their most base in their voice, not advocating for black Americans, but advocating for other people, and in this case, people who are not even Americans. Now, I think it would be different if they were advocating for people in other countries who are suffering under whatever regimes or whatever is happening in those countries, if you have the bandwidth to have that focus. But when you take money that is meant for organizations domestically that assist black Americans, when you are part of the, what is the name of it? The Nation Action Network or whatever. Al Sharpton puts himself up like he's an advocate for Black Americans. He won't be this voice. We see him ambulance chasing him and Ben Crump. Every Black issue, every time someone Black is killed by cops, here he is running around talking about he's advocating for Black Americans. He's been the front man from everybody from Obama to the Clintons to the Bidens. He's been like for four Democratic presidencies. This guy's been out front with his hand out, looking like he's supposed to be the guy you go to for Black people when there's Black issues. And what's he doing? He's not up here advocating in the best interest of Black Americans. Anybody, look, this border issue, immigration, have that conversation. I'm all for us having that conversation. And once again, I do not have a problem with people advocating for people outside of the United States. I feel that is good work. I don't do it. I'm focused on domestic politics, U.S. politics. I'm straight up and honest about that. I do not have I do not have qualms with people who do something different. But when you operate, take money, hold yourself out to be this person fighting for Black Americans within the United States, and I hear you time and time again. And yes, I'm talking about the Congressional Black Caucus. Yes, I'm talking about Al Sharpton. And I hear you jumping out the gym, coming up with all types of reasons why we should not have people that are illegally in this country sit back to where their country, because we don't know where their country at. Or we can find it. We can find who that is. Is that in the best interest of Black Americans, or who's that in the best interest of? See, when I hear Latino groups and when they're advocating for what's best for their people, they're not thinking about what's best for Black Americans. They're thinking about what's best for their group. I think all these groups advocate for what's best for their group that they are there to advocate for. Al Sharpton has not been picking up money for everybody. He's been picking up money saying he's a Black guy. They're here to advocate for Black Americans. This don't sound like advocating for Black Americans. There ain't no Black Americans in nothing that guy had to say. What I heard was him saying Trump wrong because he wanted to deport people because those people may be inconvenienced. Well, if you broke in, if you illegally gained entry to a place, and then you are asked to leave, how is that somehow persecution? And we're going to talk about people being separated. The most separated group of people in this country from their families and loved ones will be the Black American. And you were very happy to pick up checks on behalf of that. You were happy to do your marches and act like you were doing something when you walking around with Tawana Briley and the rest of them, or whatever issue that you were able to latch your ass on to. You were willing to do that. Al Sharpton, Congressional Black Caucus, and many other Black people that seem to find cover on this issue, hiding behind we a great melting pot. If you're going to pick up money on behalf of Black people and say you are the guy or the woman or the organization that's an advocate for Black Americans, I need you to have your advocacy foremost be for the betterment of Black Americans. LGBTQ organizations, guess what they're doing? Advocating for LGBTQ. Hell, excuse me. Hell, regional organizations. We ain't even got to go race, or we don't got to go gender or orientation. There's an organization from Maryland. There are a number of organizations that focus on issues here in my home state of Maryland. You won't have them advocating for South Dakota. I'm not saying they need to demonize South Dakota, but their focus is what? Maryland. Why can't Al keeps Al's focus on Black Americans if that's who Al been picking up money for? If that's who Al has been holding himself out to be an advocate for? See, I'm just tired of the nonsense, the games, and the chicanery that's been exhibited by the Congressional Black Caucus and Al Sharpton. The jig is up, and so is your time. Time is up. It's time for new leadership, new people that can say it with their chest, even if it's unfavorable, people don't like it, people got a problem. Fine, we can have that conversation. But you know what? I will never stop advocating for Black Americans to get their due in this country. And if I'm advocating for us, at least I got the guts and the balls to say I'm advocating for us. That's what I'm doing. That's what this segment's about. And those people that are advocating for immigrants to stay, that's for them to make those arguments. Now for Al Sharpton. So what's happened when Roland Martin, when Al Sharpton, when the Congressional Black Caucus are jumping up and down about border, jumping up and down about deportations, they are showing that their first priority is Democratic Party interest over Black people. They do all this talking, but when a hot button issue like this comes up, you see where they at. Now you want to try to thread the needle and make it seem like when you're fighting for Black Americans, this is a part of it. No, it's not a part of it. How are you fighting for Black Americans if you're fighting for people that are not American citizens? Make that make sense to me. Make it make sense. How are you going to say you advocated for Black Americans when you're advocating for people that are not American citizens? That ain't a big, that's not an astronomical bar to cross. Black American, real simple. All the other groups that advocate for those groups, who hold themselves out as that, one more time, all those other people, all those other organizations, for them to have a one-track mind, it's not seen as, nothing negative is seen with that. There's no negative connotation about it. There's no hate behind that. There's no assignment of selfishness. There's no assignment of division when they advocate for themselves. But when we advocate for ourselves, people got a problem. And I'm saying those people, bump those people. I don't care about those people. What I'm talking about is Al Sharpton, Roland Martin. I'm talking about Congressional Black Caucus. Shit or get off the pot. Your time is up. Stop picking up Black money to go advocate for everybody who ain't Black. Stop using our currency. Stop using our name. Because they use our currency and our name. And they use our moral place in this country. They use our pain in this, the legacy. They use it all, and that's really what white America's tired of. When they talk about the woke shit, well, they're really talking about you manipulating fuckers, using Black people's suffering to try to help everybody with some bullshit. That's really what they're saying, and that's what's got everyone tired. It ain't even just about Black Americans. It's about how you tie everything to us to try to help them. I'm just tired of this shit. I'm fed up with it. And now you want to advocate for people that ain't even American. Well, damn it, that's too far. That's the bridge way too damn far. All right? That's too far. You done jumped out the gym. You done used black suffering, Black pain, Black civil rights struggle, all that shit to help every group in America. Now you want to help people that ain't even Americans. Well, God damn. When is enough, Johnson? And when are some Black people going to stand with me on this? When are some white people going to stand with me on this? This is some bullshit. Using Black currency, Black pain, Black American pain, Black American legacy, Black American civil rights, all this shit to help people, and these people ain't even Americans. Nah. I'll say it for y'all. Al Sharpton, shut the fuck up. You too, Roland, and two times. Congressional Black Caucus, you can kiss my ass. All right. Yeah, that was good. Okay. Last but not least, I don't know, man. Just things have to be said. It is Friday. Last but not least, it turns out that Joe Biden's leaving office with a hefty lift. He's trying to leave with a bang. Check this out.
President Joe Biden is commuting the sentences of roughly 1,500 people who were released from prison and placed on home confinement during the COVID pandemic. According to a statement just released by the White House, those whose sentences were commuted have successfully reintegrated into their families and communities and have shown they deserve a second chance. The president is also pardoning 39 Americans convicted of nonviolent crimes. This is the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history.
Today, President Biden commuted the prison sentences for nearly 1,500 people. Among those on the list, the disgraced former controller of Dixon, Rita Crundwell. Crundwell pleaded guilty to stealing nearly $54 million from taxpayers to fund her lavish lifestyle and a ranch where she bred horses. In 2013, she was sentenced to nearly 20 years in federal prison. But during the COVID pandemic, she was released on home confinement. Dixon's city manager called the decision, quote, a complete travesty of justice.
Wow. Okay. Hey, look, man. Some of the controversial releases, commutations, I will call it, that Joe Biden executed. That's something to talk about. That's controversial, of course. And yeah, we can have that conversation. I don't even know who this lady is, but sounds like she really got a sweetheart deal. I do support Joe Biden commuting sentences, though. And I do support him trying to, right some wrongs or undo some pains or whatever. Joe Biden has had his fingers on the every bit of mass incarceration legislation since the late 80s, early mid 80s, I think it was. So yeah, he's got a lot of pain to undo. But it also does seem like it's sort of like a little bit of damage control based on Hunter Biden's situation and him pardoning his son. So I don't know how much, but I guess if you're a person who benefits from this, you could care less. Yeah, you could care less. So there's that, there's that. And, as much as I say, hey, Joe Biden's a hypocrite, and only a hypocrite because he said he was not going to pardon his son, and then he turned around and did it. I still feel it's a net positive if he is, helping other people who are nonviolent offenders get out. I would like to see him do the same thing for all those who were incarcerated for certain drug-related crimes, going back to his three-strike law. That are still incarcerated, and those people who could be eligible, that now that things have been adjusted would have not have faced those stiff penalties. Yeah, he should do something about those before he leaves. But make no mistake about it, he just set a record. He just like, I don't know, 10x, he 5x Obama's numbers with commutations. So he committed more sentences than 5 times that of Obama. And Obama was holding the record up until this time. So, yeah, he did the damn thing on this. So we could call a thing and say, yeah, that's good. I don't much care why people do what they do. If something positive comes out of what they do, I don't sit around going, I bet they did it for this and I bet they did it for that. I ain't got time for that. That sounds like rich people. Yeah, that sounds like rich people who don't have enough time on their hands, who are more concerned with an axe to grind than the outcome being favorable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't have time. Like people who are in need of things to be done on their behalf don't have time to worry about why people were motivated. Whether you woke up and saw God or had a near-death experience, or if you're just doing it for bragging rights, or if you're hoping that a little lady give you something tonight because you did the right thing finally. Ain't none of my damn business. What we're going to do is we're going to take the W and shut the hell up. And I would implore those people that will be critics of this to realize, so every one of the stories that's controversial, like this lady I just heard about this judge who was jailing people for money. Yeah, but for every one of those stories, I'm sure there's another story that's far less controversial that you are not hearing about. I just want to remind you that those stories are out there too. So there I go, being reasonable after being way less reasonable. You know, I do what I can. All right, guys, I'm Tim Black. You know how to find me, Tim at TimBlackTV.com. We do this every day except Saturday and Tuesday. We'll be back again on Sunday to do this all over again. I hope that you tune into it. Don't forget to become a member. We got to go on to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. If your feelings weren't hurt too bad, if you can stand my delivery of the truth when you're a bad mofo, I appreciate you. I invite you to join the Tim Black Mug Club by going to timblackmug.com. Let's go to comments and see what we got, Johnson. Woo! What a night, baby. What a night. Couple people came through. Black Mama, congratulations on the article about Black News Daily. It was fantastic work. Thank you, Black Mamba. And thank you, Megs, for giving me a gift of a membership to the Tim Black Show. I appreciate y'all. It's amazing. We do what we can. I'll see you on the next show, my sister and my brother. Wow. Oh, and before I go, as always, people, as always to my Tim Black Wolfpack people, man. As always, thank you, Buck, for your moderating. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, Buck, for doing what you do. What should I say? How can I say this? Oh, that's right. Don't let anybody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread. It's up to you to keep that cornbread. That's right. And let's go ahead and keep our heads on straight because it's going to be a lot of shaking things up. That's what we're going to do here on the Tim Black Show. Okay, right, step aside. Let's keep it rolling. And like I always say, where are my ladies? Oh, love y'all.